Hey guys, this is Alex Ramsey, host of Night of the Batman, and I'm here today to talk about. Well, first off, let me start by saying this week has been a very big week in terms of just like general news. Like, first off, I'm going to start with the easy thing that I have a little bit to say about, just, but not as much. But recently, the new Amazing Spider-Man trailer came out, Amazing Spider-Man 2, which is really cool. They're hinting a lot at the Sinister Six spoilers if you haven't seen it yet, and it's a lot different than the last movie, or at least it seems that way. It opens up with him sort of flying through the city, kind of like Sam Raimi's Spider-Man might, and very much starts you off with just like I think narration from like Electro, and also they show Harry Osborn in this trailer and a sick person who I'm not sure, but I'm going to assume maybe is Norman. They usually do things a little bit different in this movie franchise, as I've noticed. So I guess we'll see what they'll do with that. I'm not going to make any predictions right now, but so far we have a few Easter eggs in the actual trailer. One of them being that we get to see, as I think, I forget who's walking through like this row of display cases, but we see Doc Ock's tentacles, the Vulture's flying suit, and also it's already confirmed that we've already seen like footage of the Rhino, who's a mob enforcer in this movie. So I guess we'll see where they'll go with that. Um, so far, I'm very interested in this. It sort of shows that Harry and Peter's relationship is sort of gonna start like planting the seeds in this, and that apparently he was being watched by I guess Norman Osborn, which I guess because maybe his Spider-Man powers, I'm gonna be interested to see if he knows of his Spider-Man powers. That adds an interesting sort of dynamic to it. In this trailer, I've also seen like pictures. We also get to see what looks like the Green Goblin. From what I've seen so far, it's just like pictures of I think it's concept art of a possible Green Goblin. I'm not sure if that's the one, but um, onto performances, I guess. From what I can see, the very little I can see, it's only a few minutes, but I assume that the guy that played, I'm blanking on his name right now, but the guy that played Andrew in the Chronicle movie, he's an amazing actor. I think he could play this kind of thing that they did, where I'm not sure if it was just the lighting that the director chose. I'm not really sure at all. But his eyes were like, I don't remember in Chronicle if his eyes were like super blue, but in this one his eyes were like really toned to like look blue. It was kind of weird. And it might have been just like a lighting choice, or maybe he just has really blue eyes. I'm not sure. But anyway, I love the suit for the Amazing Spider-Man movie. It looks really cool. It seems like they're gonna sort of set up the Sinister Six in this one, or maybe just sort of hint at it. I'm kind of worried about that a little bit. I have faith that they're gonna do a good job. I'll be the first to admit I'm not the biggest fan of the first Amazing Spider-Man movie. My only big issue was that the original cut, before the marketing people cut out all the good stuff pretty much about Kirk Connors. They had a lot of like a detailed backstory for him, and there was just some other stuff that I kind of felt like if that had been left in, I think it would have been a lot better movie, but I still had other issues with it on top of that, just some of the other choices they made. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a good movie. I'm probably going to review it at some point, since I'm trying to branch out more, build more of an audience, get more people from Marvel on board, and plus I just want to talk about some Marvel properties, because hey, Marvel's got some really good stuff out there too. I have a Marvel poster actually over there, so this DC poster isn't the only one I have. So, on to my next subject, I guess. So, to close that thing off, I'm really excited about The Amazing Spider-Man 2, so I'd be interested to see your guys' thoughts about it. But on to something that happened last night that was amazing. Arrow mid-season finale, part 1. It was amazing. And it's not even over yet. Oh my goodness. I don't even know where to start. But before I even begin that, I was kicking myself last night. I didn't get to bed until like 2 in the morning for whatever reason. It was just one of those nights where I was like wide awake. I couldn't fall asleep for some reason. And so, in order to get to class in the mornings, I have to get up at like 6. And so I was going on 4 hours of sleep at that point. I had been hanging out with friends, doing a bunch of schoolwork. I was worn out by that point. And this stupid Charlotte game, and this has nothing to do with the era, like what happened, but this is just something, I'm going to go on a mini rant for a minute if you guys don't mind. There was this stupid basketball game, which I didn't really mind at first, but I thought it was just going to, like, Arrow was going to come on at 9. Okay, I can wait an hour to watch the show. And then it went into overtime, and I'm like, oh, would you come on? Finally, at 9:30, I'm exhausted by this point, and I'm about to fall asleep. So I tried my best to stay up, but it just wasn't happening, so I ended up only seeing bits and pieces and then just passing out through the rest of the Arrow episodes. So it wasn't until today that I actually watched it, which is actually better when you think about it. The title of the episode is The Scientist, and it was really good. I actually forgot that there was going to be another episode, and as an unintentional sort of birthday present to me, it's actually on December 11th, which is my birthday, which I think is really cool. So going off, I know I haven't reviewed the previous episodes, but I'm blabbering right now, sorry. But going off what we had in previous episodes with Brother Blood and that whole thing, he, for those that don't know, why are you watching this? Don't watch this unless you haven't seen it, because I'm going to go through some major spoilers, so I'll wait a few minutes, actually a few seconds, and then start with the whole spoiler talk. Okay, if you're still here, either you don't care about spoilers, or you really want to know about my thoughts of this episode. Either one I welcome, so let's get this thing started. So, in the last episode, let me just get to the advertising thing, because I really appreciate this. The last episode, State vs. Queen, just looked like another episode where they were going to show Count Vertigo. Yeah, whatever. It's just going to be kind of a blah episode. I didn't have really like high expectations for it. Boy, was I proven wrong. The ending of that episode. We not only find out that Malcolm had an affair with Moira Queen, Ollie's mother, but to make that even worse, he comes back from the dead through, I'm assuming, either the Lazarus Pit, or maybe, now that I think about it, maybe they, I mean that's not showing super strength, but they mention Ra's al Ghul, so I'm assuming Lazarus Pit at this point, but Brother Blood might have injected him with that super whatever serum that makes people's eyes bleed and then makes them come back if they're lucky, like Cyrus Gold, aka Solomon Grundy, aka kind of looks like Bane, aka the dude with the black mask. So after we find out that, we find out he's alive, and to top that all off, we find out that he is Thea's father. So going into this episode, I knew that he'd probably show up a lot. I was shocked by that whole thing. A lot of people said they could see that coming. I didn't see that coming at all. I wasn't expecting them to do that. Since this was a realistic show to begin with, I thought, okay, they're not going to bring him back. But then I heard that he was signed on to be in a few episodes. I just assumed that those would be like flashbacks. This is before I even knew about Ra's al Ghul, that whole thing. So in this episode, Barry Allen shows up, and for those of you who don't know, I'm going to just talk briefly about the whole plan that they have for this, for introducing him into the show. So originally, the episode in Arrow was going to be his pilot for a show that they're going to spin off from the Arrow universe. I think it's going to be kind of its own thing, though, too, but apparently they're going to do their own pilot for that show. It's going to be with the same actor. They actually have, that's not the first time they've done a Flash TV series, but we'll talk about that another time, and risk of making this really long, so I have a lot to say. So, Barry Allen shows up. He's kind of awkward, kind of funny. I kind of like that a little bit. Him and Felicity get along very well, getting a romantic relationship. I thought that was cool. This kind of felt a lot like Dark Knight Rises, just because I'm a fan, though. I don't see myself, like, they've said they're sort of influenced by that, but it's not, like, blatant, but him going up against this guy that's, like, physically formidable and kind of super strength is kind of the thing's been done in Dark Knight Rises, but it's not, like, straight, like, ripping it off. It's their own thing. Like, I think I just see that because I'm a Batman fan. I think maybe most people won't even see that. I think that's just me personally. Anyway, so Cyrus Gold, I'm sorry, Brother Blood on one side is, as you guys know, is he's a philanthropist, I can't talk. He's a guy that helps homeless people. And also, on the side, he is Brother Blood, leader of this sort of cult-like thing that's going on. They may or may not be working for Dr. Ivo, who is in the island flashbacks. We're not told yet. I think maybe that he might have gotten this serum from him. But anyway, so in the previous episode, Cyrus Gold got injected with that. For those of you who don't know Cyrus Gold, in the comics it's Solomon Grundy, this big guy that years ago died, but in this he died like from the serum and then came back alive. It's one of the few people to survive it. It makes your eyes bleed and kind of gives you like this uncontrollable seizure thing going on. So they inject him with that. He lives. I'm to assume that he broke into the Queen Consolidated place at the very beginning and stole whatever was in there. So Barry Allen shows up. He's kind of awkward, kind of funny. I like him. It's revealed throughout the episode. At first, you think he's there to sort of help out with the case. His mother died, like in the comics, from someone killing her. In the comics, it's actually Professor Zoom, and I think that's what they're suggesting. Professor Zoom's sort of like the anti-Flash. He dresses up like kind of like a Bizarro Flash. He's a time traveler, and he goes back in time to kill Barry's mother to sort of, I guess, get revenge. I'm not really as familiar with the Flash mythology as I'd like to be. Okay, sorry. So, I'm kind of scatterbrained right now. So anyway, we come to find out that he's not really there like his police officer doesn't even know he's there. He's just there to try and find out what happened with the whole basically try and find and see if the guy that ripped whatever that thing was off the ground and threw it at the camera has anything to do with his mother's death, who his body was kind of framed for. Um, so we have that going on. Oliver is a jerk in this episode. I'm sorry, but first he basically tells Felicity he has a big crush on Barry, that he's pretty much a fraud, and then he leaves. And then after that, like, he throws his party for his mom and then apologizes, which I guess is kind of a nice thing to do. He's really stubborn in this episode, I guess I'd describe him as. Oh, and he shoots Roy in the leg. I was like, he's only trying to help you. I know that they're going to team up at some point because Roy is his sidekick in the comics. But, like, he shoots him through the leg with an arrow. All he wants to do is help. Oliver's just losing it because I guess he doesn't know what to do because he doesn't know how to solve this. And I'm pretty sure, now that I think of it, whatever is, like, I think he thinks it has something to do with Ivo, and it's probably why he did that, to sort of kind of scare him off, I guess. And try and, I guess, as he said, slow him down. There's a lot in this episode. Ra's al Ghul is apparently after Malcolm because he did the undertaking, which is against their whole protocol, which I found kind of interesting. It's kind of hard judging a two-parter since maybe half of my complaints that I'm about to say or any of my questions will probably be answered in the second part. Some of the things I didn't like, the whole thing with Slade, obviously, with the whole love, like him being in love with her, I wasn't a big fan of that. He knew that Shadow and Ollie were together, and yet he still sort of ignored that and tried to flirt with her. I was kind of like, he didn't seem like he would do that kind of thing. Like, he didn't seem like he'd be interested in her and have, like, I guess, puppy dog face around her or whatever before he dies. Like, I gotta tell you my feelings. I'm like, man, come on, you're a tough guy. You don't. It just didn't seem like it'd be in his character to like her, I guess. I really don't know how to explain it besides that. Another thing, obviously, Ollie shooting Roy through the leg with an arrow was kind of, like, I didn't like that at all. I thought that, I guess he's trying to keep him from finding out more about Ivo and that whole thing, which Ivo basically got them after Slade died. I'm not sure about that. I think they're probably going to bring him back because Cyrus Gold, a similar thing happened to him where he died and then sort of just came back. And going off of that, I guess that's most of my criticisms for this episode. Another positive that I really liked was a really good positive is injecting Ollie with the serum. I thought that was really cool. I kind of want to see what happens with that. I couldn't see really if his eyes were bleeding since it was mostly in the shadows. I liked at the end where Felicity or Diggle, they don't really show who, I'm assuming Felicity, kidnaps him, and he finds out about Arrow, which I thought was really cool. They have this whole thing where it kind of just, you follow his eyes around the whole Arrow cave, and he has that moment where it just sort of clicks. And throughout this episode, he's had this sort of fascination with Arrow because I thought this was a really cool scene. He thinks that if Arrow was around or someone like him was around, that he could have possibly saved his mother and saved that horrible pain he has, which I thought was a really cool scene. I really like the actor for that. I'm glad he's a really strong actor. He's kind of got that awkward sort of sense of humor, which I think works with this version of Barry. and he's very likable. So I have high hopes for the Flash show. I'm not sure when they're going to start that though, but I'll be looking forward to it. So yeah, so it ends on a really cool cliffhanger. I can't wait for the next episode, which, if it's really good, it's going to be an amazing birthday present for me. Um, yeah, I'm really excited about seeing where they'll go with this. I know they're now mentioning Ra's al Ghul openly in the League of Assassins. I'm waiting to see if they come after Malcolm or not. I like that they didn't try and rehash the whole thing they did last season, with Mora being afraid of Malcolm and being like, "Oh, I'll do this for you if you leave my family alone." I'm glad that she finally stood up to him, because I couldn't take another season of that. I feel like if they did that again, her character progression would be like nothing. It would kind of be pointless that she even got out. I'm glad that they're moving forward with that, and that now he's kind of scared for his life for a change. I guess since this is kind of review and less of a thoughts thing, I'd probably give it like uh, 4 out of 5 stars, which means it was really good. I'll be interested to see the second part. I'm sure a lot of my questions, and also just a lot of things that I kind of was iffy about will either be fixed or will be explained more in the second part of the mid-season finale, which, so that's it for my review part. But by the way, mid-season finale, really, really, I think that's like the stupidest. I'm gonna on a mini rant for a second. I think that's one of the stupidest things I've ever heard. It's either a season finale or it's not. A mid-season finale is kind of stupid sounding. I guess they say that to get more people to watch it. Before they started this thing, it was just a finale, like a season finale. And then there was like the episode before the break. You didn't even call it anything. It was just in the middle of the season. So I'm not sure why they're doing that. I guess so more people will watch it. I don't know. It's so stupid sounding. Um, a lot of rants in this video. So that's what I thought of the Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man 2, and also Arrow. I'll probably be reviewing um the Spider-Man thing at some point. So yeah, so that'll be fun to do at some point. Not the Spider-Man thing. I'm sorry, I'm not even thinking straight. I'll be reviewing the second part of the mid-season finale of Arrow. So I guess look forward to that. What did you guys think of it? What are your guys' predictions? I would like to see their own like Arrow universe version of the Justice League. I think that would be really cool, just to see their interpretation of certain superheroes, because I really like what they did with Flash here. Um, I mean, Barry Allen. I'm sort of interested to see what they do when he actually gets his powers. I know that they're not afraid to use like the whole superpower thing, since they have like super strength. They're sort of slowly but surely introducing that idea of super strength and just the superpower concept in general, which I really like. It's sort of moving from a gritty realistic. It's still kind of gritty, but they're slowly sort of edging in that the comic book feel to it, I guess, with the more fantastic elements like super strength and eventually super speed, stuff like that. The Lazarus Pit, I hope at some point too. That'd be really cool. Which would be actually the first live action appearance of the Lazarus Pit. I really hope they decide to do that. It wouldn't be that hard either. Just get like, if you want to go cheap for it, just get like a really deep sort of pool and just get some like um, colored gel in it, and like some glowing green, I guess some glowing green colored gel. It'd be really easy to make. I hope they don't cheap out on it though. I hope it looks really cool. So, what were your guys' thoughts on the Amazing Spider-Man trailer, and also the Arrow mid-season finale? What do you guys think of the direction that Season 2 is going so far. Just put your comments below, or any other general questions or reviews you'd like me to do at some point. I'd be interested to hear your guys' opinion on what you think I should do next. Another Behind the Wheel for people that watch that. Another one will be coming up soon. We'll be talking about Ghost, and also another episode released later at some point will be about Christmas. So look forward to that. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. See ya.